And here at the Oakland Coliseum, we have 72 degrees as our game time temperature. Clear skies as well. The Tigers trying to bounce back from last night's disappointing loss in 13 innings to the Athletics. Here is the starting lineup for the Tigers tonight. It's presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. And for Ron Gardenhire, a little bit of a change tonight. Jacoby Jones will lead off. He'll play in center field. And Castellanos and Goodrum, Candelario batting cleanup. Vimart is the DH. Hicks will do the catching. Ducey, Iglesias, and Gerber getting a start in left field tonight for the Tigers. And they are facing a former Tiger. Edwin Jackson will be getting the start tonight for the Athletics.
Yeah, Edwin earned his 100th win of his career in the A's 10-1 win over Toronto last Monday. He also pitched against the Tigers, shut us down 1 earned run on 6 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts, no walks. So the Tigers struggled a little bit with the bats last night, but it'll be a formidable challenge against Edwin tonight as well.
Edwin Jackson presented by MGM Grand Detroit.
Let's take a look at the A's starting defense. Nick Martini in left field. Ramon Laureano had a good game last night at center. Stephen Piscotty, great play last night in right. Matt Chapman, future Gold Glover. At third base, Marcus Semien at short. Jed Lowry at second with Matt Olson over at first. Jonathan Lucroy behind the dish again. He's catching Edwin Jackson.
Well, tonight the Tigers hoping to get the offense going, and more specifically the home run ball. If the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow. You'll get a free small order of curly fries. Oh, ready for baseball here tonight. Last night was definitely a disappointing night for the Tigers. They got so much tremendous pitching in the ball game. The bats, though, just went dormant, and really both sides struggled to score runs last evening.
They did. Both pitchers were throwing in between pitches very quickly. The game went good. Good defensive plays, kind of jabs, and then the knockout punch came in the bottom of the 13th.
So here is Jones. Jacoby batting 206, and he'll look at a strike.
Look at that shadow there. You can see it at home plate. That's pretty prevalent, and the ball's coming out of the light into the dark. A little bit of a strobe effect. Affects your perception a little bit.
6:05 start locally here, so you're still seeing a lot of the sunshine, and the home plate area is still covered by the shadows.
Well, this is a 6 o'clock start out here. When you get into the playoffs, you see 5 o'clock start, so they have to deal with it a little longer. It should go down fairly quickly in this game.
2-1 on Jones. Jacoby 0 for 4 in the ball game last night. Does not have a hit against the A's this year. 0 for 14, and he'll pop that one up shallow left field. Backing up Semien. He's calling, and look out, it's dropped. Martini, the left fielder, came in and collided with Semien, and Jones is aboard. Boy, that was routine. Tougher play for Semien, but the left fielder got in his way.
Well, there was obviously a mishandle right here, miscommunication. One thing that didn't happen last night, Jacoby ran pretty hard all the way. He's on second base where he belongs. Also, Iglesias had an opportunity. That's a good 3/4 long leg, and if something happens, you're where you belong. Almost thought about going to third. A little bit of generosity for the Tigers to start this game tonight.
E7 is the ruling on that play, so Martini charged with the air, the left fielder. Here is Castellanos batting in the 2 slot again tonight for the Tigers. Quick RBI chance for Nicholas, and he'll look at a ball inside. 1-0. Castellanos at 288 with 15 home runs. He started to show some signs last night of life. Couple of hits. He stole a base. Nick trying to bust out of a slump. In fact, he was 0 for 19 before singling last night. He didn't particularly care for that call from Jerry Davis. 1-1.
Been a lot of communication with the umpires by really both sides last night. Nick here tonight. Trying to establish the strike zone early. You got a man in scoring position. Better learn quick.
Ripped foul down the left field line.
Jerry Davis behind the plate. Long-standing rep as a hitter-friendly umpire. Rarely calls low and inside. Tends to extend the outside corner. So we'll see if he falls within those parameters. That's a starting point. You're the hitter. Pay attention, and when you get 2 strikes, you should have a pretty good idea what you need to protect against.
Bouncing ball, foul ball, again outside of the bag at third.
You know, just thinking back to that error by Martini, you wonder, probably watched that too, how can that happen, right? But he came a long way, and he hasn't played out there a lot, I guess. I talked about the high sky during the day. You look up into that sky, there's not a lot of depth to it, so the ball comes down like a little baseball. Maybe he didn't yell loud enough, but everybody's yelling at the same time. That can have something to do with it, but that should not happen. But it did. The Tigers are going to take advantage of it.
Well, we talked last night on the broadcast, and Ron Gardenhire mentioned it before the game yesterday as well. The day games here are just absolutely murder because of the sunlight. It's basically a day game start with all the sunshine still on the field. Now the Tigers have to indeed take advantage. 1-2 on Castellanos. Neither team able to get the offense going until the middle innings in last night's game. Brett Anderson and Blaine Hardy were both throwing no hitters. In fact, Anderson had a perfect game into the 6th.
Yesterday started with the Tigers showing up earlier here yesterday to take extra batting practice. So it doesn't work just doing more all the time.
Swing and a miss. Castellanos, a one-handed swing to strike out, 1 gone. Here is Chevrolet's most dependable player. It's Nico Goodrum as he strolls in the 3 spot tonight.
Nico Goodrum.
And he, of course, was the July position player of the month for the Tigers. Mike Fiers was the pitcher of the month for Detroit.
And that's who we voted for, both of us.
We did. And Nico, a solid month. Has been playing every day now for Ron Gardenhire. He's at second base again tonight. And he looks at ball 1.
Looks like Nico is taken all the way. Very aggressive, as is most of the Tiger team. It looks like they're trying to be a little more patient today right out of the gate.
Patience was not a word, Gibby, that you would use for the Tigers offense last night.
Well, they swung at a lot of first pitches. They made a lot of quick outs. Brett Anderson, the Oakland A's pitcher, was working very fast. They did not disrupt him early on. But to be fair to the Tiger hitters, it's exactly what happened to Oakland too with Blaine Hardy. It was one of those games that there were a lot of good pitches made, but you hope that you can lay off those nasty pitcher pitches early in the count with the hope of getting a mistake and having a better opportunity, but didn't work out.
Fly ball in the air to shallow center field. Long charge, and it's going to be caught there by Semien. The charge was Laureano from center field, but the shortstop got there.
Let's take a look at last night. There's a couple pitches. These are first pitches. That's not a good pitch. That's Ronnie Rodriguez. Little bat, balls off the end of the bat. That's on the outside corner. Now again, we're watching it on TV. Seems like it's easy, but they're being deceived by that pitcher on the mound. They had good deception last night. But the good guys, the guys who are successful here in the postseason, they're going to be around a while. They eventually start to figure out, and that is going to be the challenge of this team as it goes through the rest of this year.
Well, here is Jeimer Candelario now with 2 outs. Jeimer in the ball game last night was 1 out of 5. And he'll look at ball 1 outside. Jackson establishing a very slow pace to the start of this one. That may have something to do with the leadoff man reaching second base on the air. Edwin has allowed 3 runs or fewer in 6 of his 7 starts since joining the A's. It'll dive low and the count goes 2-0.
Now here's the situation. It's 2 balls and no strikes. You don't have to swing at anything except what you want. If you're swinging, all of a sudden it turns into a changeup or a secondary pitch, swing and miss. You're heater and it's a fastball, don't miss it. But you're kind of looking in an area here. You're not looking on the edges, you're looking middle.
Pulled to the right side and through, base hit. Rounding third is Jones. He will come in to score, and he gets it done with 2 outs. Candelario with a single to right field, and the Tigers lead 1-0.
There you have it. Rewarded for your patience. Got ahead in the count. Right through the hole there. 3-4 hole. Out over the plate. Good jump by Jacoby. No chance of getting him at home. Tigers lead 1-0.
2-out knock. Those are big, and that is RBI number 40 for Candelario.
He's really been struggling from the left side too, so that's good. We've seen him swinging better, but not a lot of return yet, but he got rewarded tonight already.
Here is Victor Martinez. Vmart at 237 was 0-4-5 last night. And a strike right at the knees.
I think all the Tigers took a pitch the first one, didn't they, so far? More of them for sure.
Well, Vmart struck out 3 times last night, and he has been one of the toughest to strike out this year. One of those nights. Here's the 0-1. Slice to left field on a line, but it's going to be caught there by Martini to end the inning. Tigers get a run on the single by Candelario. It'll be Jordan Zimmerman on the mound for the Tigers. He is presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Let's take a look at Zim in his previous 8 games started before his last start. 5 or more innings pitched. Had a little bit of a hiccup, only 3 against Cleveland in his last outing. So throwing less fastballs, counting more on his secondary pitches, the changeup, the curveball, and the slider.
Lineup he'll face tonight presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. For the Athletics, it'll be Martini, Chapman, Lowry. Chris Davis anchors the middle of their lineup. Then Olsen and Piscotty, Lucroy, Semien, and Laureano, last night's hero for the Athletics. Here is Nick Martini, the leadoff man, left fielder for the A's, facing Zim. And Martini takes strike one in the outside corner. 311 so far this year for Martini. Was called up July the 7th. 3 stints with the big club this season. And the one thing he provides is a pretty good bat against right-handed pitching. He is over 300 against righties.
Not so good against lefties.
Bob Melvin has his team rolling right now. 0-2 on Martini.
Well, his name's on it, that's for sure. When you're a manager, you wonder, do you have him rolling, or do you just stay out of the way? Sometimes you really feel like you just need to stay out of the way and let these guys go.
Again, the 0-2, and it dives low, 1-2. Well, we showed the graphic last night. There was a point they were 2 games under the 500 mark, and they have just been on a huge roll. And they have kind of forced their way now in the second wild card position. Still plenty of baseball to be played. That is popped up. Middle of the infield. Who wants it? And a tough play, but a Ducey hauls it in.
Let's take a look at the Tigers starting defense. Mike Gerber in left field, Jacoby in center with Nicholas in right. Candy and Jim Ducey on the corners with Iglesias and Gudrun up the middle. John Hicks catching Jordan Zimmerman. Now that fly right there, everybody was looking around at everybody, and Ducey took charge, but that'll give you a little tingle when you're looking up there.
It's line to right field, slicing away from Castellanos. Nick is on the run, and he drops it. It'll go up against the wall. Chapman rounding second, going to third, and he's in standing up. Nick ran a long way to get to that ball. He got a glove on it, but could not squeeze it.
Looking right into the sun. He actually gloved it, but when you're running like that, your eyes bounce. So you got some eye bounce, you got some sun on the side, and a long way to go. He's unable to put the sweet spot of the glove to secure it. There you can see right here, you should extend. Look at, you can see where his shadow is looking right into that sun. Tough play, unable to make it. The Tigers are going to have to deal with this Chapman on third and 1 down.
It'll be a triple for Chapman. Well, we saw the way Ducey came under that and approached that pop up on the infield. The sun right now is just absolutely murder. Now the tying run at third with 1 out, and here is Jed Lowry.
The Tigers really have their infield back. They're going to concede the run. I think is smart. Come in right now at this point. Maybe give a ball that should be an out and make it into a hit.
Lowry 2 more hits in the ball game last night, and so against the Tigers this year, 11 for 22. He has been as difficult an out for Tigers pitching this year as anybody in the league.
Gonna hate to see us go. There's always somebody like that.
1-1 is ripped foul. What a 2 now on Lowry. His 68 RBIs, our 7th in the American League, made the All-Star team this year for the A's.
It looks like Lowry's in pull mode, so you want to get something down and away. Yeah, he
went.
did.
That is strike 3. Lowry's out. Going to be a big out.
That was a good pitch there. He threw the previous pitch inside, got the foul ball. With the quality paint pitch here for the strikeout.
In the 4th position, designated hitter, number 2, Chris Davis.
It'll bring him Chris Davis now, and he is the Bernstein advantage against the Tigers. They've had a huge advantage over Davis. He has done really nothing. 0.95. Did I say that too low?
I don't know if I want to comment on that.
0.95.
Tigers has been throwing him on the outside part of the plate. See if he's moved up on the plate a little bit to try and reach that.
1-1 on Davis. Time now for StatCast AI powered by AWS. He's a pull guy.
Yeah, he's trying to pull the ball into the seats.
2-1 on Davis.
Well, he took that pitch nicely. Didn't jump at it. Just put his hands back with the bat. Leg went forward, but he did not jump at it. Tells me he saw it well.
Davis 0 for 5 in last night's game. He's been a big RBI guy for them recently. 20 driven in his last 14 games. And he'll foul that one off.
Chapman coming way down the line over there at third base. Yeah, Zimmerman throwing inside and do a little play on here and pick him off.
Two now on the right-handed batting Davis, with Matt Olson waiting on deck, the lefty with power. Only the second start for Zim at the Oakland Coliseum in his career. His only other start last year, 4 runs in 5 2/3 innings here.
Pitchers love the pitcher.
And he walked him, so Davis aboard now, first and third with 2 outs. Well, as you enjoy a Miller Lite, look forward to the whole true moment later in tonight's game. I remember in the last start for Zim, he threw 80 pitches in just 3 innings, and that was really his downfall in that game. He was way too high in the pitch count early on.
Yeah, those were not even close. So maybe, for all we know, he feels more comfortable with this matchup. Although Olson's swinging the bat well.
In there, a high strike right at the top of the zone. 0-1 on Olson. He walked a couple of times in last night's game, ended up 1 for 2. 21 home runs this year.
Well, you're gonna have to take a watch here. Chapman's coming way down the baseline. Davis may try and steal, and then he may try and advance on the throw. Tigers can cut that ball off if they want to. They usually do that with 2 strikes though.
Ball too high. So Zim now about to throw his 20th pitch this inning. Trying to pitch around the 1-out triple by Chapman. Now the 2-1. 3-1. And we do know this, Zim in his career has been a guy that has not walked very many. He's been under 2 per 9 for his career.
Yeah, it's not a good sign if he doesn't have his control. And he's really, I don't think he's ever gotten rid of that injury yet.
And it's in there in the outer edge, 3-2. We got the call there.
You just got to keep your game plan. You're the Tigers, regardless. Look good.
Full count. Davis will be on the move at first. There he goes, and he walked him, ball 4. Back-to-back walks. Got to load the bases now, and it's going to bring up Piscotty. So some early concern there for Rick Anderson, Ron Gardenhire. This is not what they wanted to see here out of Zim with 2 walks.
And you're talking about the fastball, Rick Anderson and his philosophy. Zim right there on those 3-2 pitches, those I don't believe have been fastballs. But where to put him now?
Piscotty had a double in last night's game. He is a .254 hitter. In there, strike 1. Piscotty has power, 15 home runs, had a big night last night with a double and a diving catch in right, which saved a run. Simmel on 5 runs in 3 innings in his last start against Cleveland. He's had 3 in a row now in which he's been subpar after 3 really good ones. That's fouled back out of play, now 1-2. So we've got Piscotty on the ropes here.
A little over 92 on the heater right there. He's going to have to establish that fastball, try and move it to location, then move on to his other pitches.
Chapman tripled, Davis walked, Olsen walked. The 1-2. Oh, just missed low. 2-2.
Got to throw 2 fastballs here. Got to locate him. This is slider. 1-2. He goes for a slider. Going for the chase.
Fouled away.
See him pound him in right here. So everything's kind of been out of the way, out of the way. He's guarding against the slider. Double a fastball in. He missed with the first one. You're going to get him on the second one. You're never going to believe you're going to double 2 fastballs inside corner right now.
And he missed again, barely. That one low, and now it's full at 3-2. And so the A's will start all 3 runners here with 2 outs. And Zim's got to throw a strike. Piscotty has run the count full. Everything low and away on Piscotty.
Everything's right down there.
In the air to right field. Castellanos will get there, and they leave the bases loaded. We'll go to the second. The 1968 World Championship team. It's September 8th. Tigers host the Cardinals at 6:10. Arrive early for a special pregame on-field ceremony presented by Comerica Bank. If you'd like tickets or more information, go to Tigers.com and check it out. Be there on hand to celebrate the 68 World Series over the Cardinals.
Lots of good stuff this year.
Tigers dodged a bullet as the A's left them loaded in the first inning. Now back to work. It's going to be Hicks, Adduci, and Iglesias against Edwin Hicks skies one toward right center, shallow. Who wants it? They're battling the sun. It's going to drop. Base hit. Little flare out there to right field, and Hicks has a leadoff single.
Well, we've been talking about it. Trust me, you can see nothing. See nothing. Nothing. And see, they just stay back and let it bounce. You know who that is? Schultz.
Schultz. See nothing.
Now, this is just an example of, we talked quite a bit last night about making contact, and we've been talking a little bit about chase pitches. It's why you need to put it in play. Things can happen. We've had an error, we've had a sunball. That's 2 extra guys on base that we wouldn't have had a chance to if they're not swinging at strikes. So the approach is better today. Maybe the pitcher isn't quite as good, but off to a better start.
Ducey batting .244. He homered on Wednesday against the Reds. And he'll send a ground ball to second. This looks like 2, 4, 6, and a 3. 2 gone. Taylor made there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Again, you're trying to get a ball in the air, and they reach for it a little bit down. And you just got to learn to tune your sights so you can try and drive a ball in the gap, but didn't work out this time.
Here is Iglesias with 2 away.
Trust me, this whole team they really want to get it together offensively. They really want to work the count. They want to drive the ball in the gap. They want to hit home runs. And it's like if you're going to go buy a new car, you start seeing a lot of them on the road, the one that you're going to buy. And the more you think about an aspect of this game, same thing happens. You just overconsume yourself, and it actually, you think a little bit about what you don't want to happen, and it does happen. It's a crazy cycle.
Well, I know walking into the clubhouse today, there seemed to be a little bit of an overhang from losing last night's game in 13. When you go that deep, you want to win a game like that, and the Tigers had their chances. There is a strike call. I think I said overhang. I meant hangover.
Well, with overhang sting, I get that as well.
But you could tell there was just a little bit of a different feel in the locker room today.
I agree.
Well, that can change so quickly with a victory.
One win.
The 1-2 is outside. 2-2 now on Iglesias.
Well, they're playing a really good team that's really hot. They've won, what, 31 out of their last 41. The extra innings, what are they, 21-6 in extra innings? Crazy number.
Yeah, they've got the most extra inning wins in baseball. Ripped to left field. That ball is going to get down extra bases. Iglesias on his way to second, and he will cruise in with a 2-out double. Iggy just keeps swinging.
Yeah, who's got him in Ram pick the stick?
Not me.
Now here's a hanger. Good pitch. Look at here. He stays in there. It's up.
In the 9th position.
And he drills it.
Left fielder, number 13.
And we'll try and point out
Gerber.
why a better pitch makes it easier for you to drive the ball. Iggy's on his way. Easy double. He's really picked it up as this season's gone on. I wonder if he thought he was going to get traded, you know. He's done pretty well. Sometimes you don't get traded, it's a letdown.
You know, we both saw him after a ball game in Texas earlier this year, and he just seemed to be talking about that a lot. Didn't know where he would be, if he would be traded, if he would stay with the ball club. He is a free agent at the end of the year. All these things weigh on guys, and I think it weighed on him a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that he doesn't dislike Detroit or his teammates or the fans, but he doesn't. You know, he's going to be a free agent. He wants some security. He wants to know where he's going to be for the next how many years it is. And he thought he would get traded at the trade deadline and play for a contending team, and you know, I guess he got up for that. So my guess is it didn't happen, and it's something that you'd have to fight through. But he's done a good job. He's played well since that day. Gerber
slicing one foul, 1-2. Talked to Mike yesterday before the game and said, what did you do with, or what have you done with your first major league hit? He got it in the last homestand, was a double to drive in a run. He said, I don't have it. They have not given me the baseball for my first major league hit. So, well, you better get it. He's probably thinking, well, they're marking it up right now. They're messing with me, but they have yet to give him his first major league hit, the baseball, that is. The 1-2. Bouncing ball to second, should get him out of the inning, and it will. So the Tigers get a 2-out double. Strand to man. We go to the bottom of the second. By T-Mobile, have you seen what Steve Pearce has been up to? What a pickup he has been for the Red Sox. Pearce with 4 home runs in his last 2 games.
He had 4 to start the series, right? So
yeah,
he's doubled that amount.
He's doubled it up.
Boy, the Yankees are getting whooped on by the Red Sox.
Red Sox won again today, so the lead now for Boston is ballooned to 8.5 in the East. Here it is, 1-0 Tigers.
Would you be worried yet?
If I'm the Yankees,
yeah.
Well, they need to get healthy. I don't know if Sanchez is back yet. Their catcher, he was on the DL. Judge on the DL. So they got to get healthy.
This Oakland team's 4.5 games behind him for what, the first spot in the wild card?
Right. So yes, maybe I am getting worried.
They're definitely peeking over their shoulder.
Here's the 1-1. Slap to right field on a line. Castellanos not going to get it. It'll split the gap and go to the wall. Extra bases on his way to second. Lucroy has a double for the A's.
Lucroy really hitting a lot of balls out that way. That ball was low enough that it did not get in the sun. And Nick got a good beat on it. Actually cut it off. Stopped the triple. Good strong throw in. Stops Lucroy at second. Just watch the bunt.
So they've got a double to go with their triple in this game, and here is Semien. Hacking away there, fouls it back, 0-1.
Get that run matrix back up.
We talked about this a little bit last night. This is not a team that tries to bunt or hit the ball to the right side when they have a man at second, nobody out. They stranded a couple of doubles last night. That is up and in. But you are saying the odds of scoring a run from third with 1 out are not as good as scoring a run from second with nobody.
I'm going to say it's minimal. You're giving an out away, though. That's the other factor.
Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Semien. 39 driven in this year for the A shortstop. He's a .256 hitter with occasional power, 7 homers. And a swing and a miss, and boy, Zim carved him up. 1 gone.
Batting in the 9th position, the center fielder, number 22.
See the sequence right there, up and in, then he's going down and away. Good setup there.
Nice round of applause for Laureano, the rookie who made his major league debut last night. Picked up an assist from center field and knocked in the game-winning run in the 13th. Here's the ball inside, 1-0. Numbers with AAA Nashville were good this year. .297, good power. The ball is up, 2-0. Laureano was not in the original starting lineup. Mark Canha was, but Canha is ill, so he was a late scratch.
Well, here's what happened last night in the same situation. Bottom of the 13th, got a ball out over the plate. Quite a rookie appearance. That was his first major league game in the bigs, and he got a happy ending there, huh? That's cold, though. Does that make you happy?
In there, a strike call, 2-1 now on Laureano. Well, he became the first A's rookie to ever have his first hit be a walk-off hit. First major league hit. And they've been keeping those stats since 1920. The 2-1. High fly ball, right field. It's Castellanos. It's the center fielder Jones. Jacoby makes the catch. Runner will tag and move. 2 gone now with a man at third.
Now this is great communication and very, very smart. Jacoby called Nick off because he had an angle. Look at the sun, you can see the shadow. The shadow's right dead. Nick's looking right into it. Jacoby had an angle, took the catch and got it in. He came a long way. That's Nick's ball, except he can't see it. So those are some of the things that you do to alleviate the sun problem.
Here's Martini, who popped up in his first at bat. He looks at ball 1. Tigers got a 2-out run in the first inning on a single by Candelario, scoring Jacoby Jones. There's a check swing roller back to the mound, and Zim will handle this one. Threw it in the dirt, but it was picked there by Ducey to end the inning.
a pop-up, didn't run. You always have to run. You never know what might happen. Ball may drop. Tonight, same thing. It happens. Look at the difference. There was a correction made. I'm sure somebody said something to him, and he thought. He ends up on second on a missed play. That's good stuff. You know, that'll be a lesson that he'll never probably have to be talked about ever again. And Iglesias had a chance last night to do it as well.
Is there an art for a manager as to when you approach a player and talk about things like that? Do you wait till the end of the game? Do you wait for the next day? When do you do it?
All of it. I mean, it just like right there, you saw Jacoby started to run, and somebody probably yelled out of the dugout, to be quite honest with you. So it's, you know, it's not going to make a difference 90+% of the time, but it's that 1% of the time. You may be in the 7th game of a World Series and you don't do it, and it costs you the series. That may be a long way to go for that. And that is something you can control. You're always kind of trying to master the things you can control. That way you can better overcome the things you cannot control. Is that confusing words? Maybe you can clean it up more.
No, I get you. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to see that far down in the future, but it can certainly affect ball games and chance to score runs, win games. It affected the way the Tigers got a run in the first. And Jacoby will look at a ball outside. Run the count to 2-2 now. Mr. Jones, he'll be followed by Castellanos and then Goodrum. Edwin Jackson, a former Tiger, faced the Tigers back in June, went 6 innings, allowed 1 run, struck out 7 in that game. That was his first start as an Athletic. He signed with the A's on June 6th. Low and away, now 3-2.
Trying to get the camera warmed up over here so you can get on.
Jackson down with the 3-2. Ooh, look out, up and in. Ball 4. The Tigers get the leadoff man on. Hey, stay tuned to Tigers Live. Following the game, will be selected the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers Player of the Game is presented by McDonald's.
Now batting, number 9.
Here's Castellanos.
Castellanos.
Yeah, and a bat like that puts you in the running right now so far. It's a good at bat. Leading off the inning, grinding it out. No swings at bad pitches. Now he's got a chance to steal the bag. Edwin's going to really keep him honest over there, though. Be hard to get a good jump. You may want to just whisper over to Edwin, "I'm going to go." It doesn't mean you have to go, but you know, put a little something in his mind. He's a pretty good veteran, though. He doesn't get too shell-shocked.
And hit with the hand.
I'm going to say he swung.
Foul ball. Castellanos says, "Look at my hand, it hurts."
Yeah, it definitely hit him on the back of the hand, but they may say he swung at it. He offered at it, but I don't think he swung. You could hear the sound.
I don't think he swung.
It definitely hit him on the back of the glove there. Did it not?
Or the knob of the bat. Nick says he hit me in the hand. I don't know that you'll have anything clear enough here to look at this.
In the knob, it went by the knob. Guardy's going to come out for clarification. He wants to see what his options are here, I'm sure. He's going to be hit.
Nick is saying, "Look, there's some redness on my hand." that a foul ball.
It's all right. Nick's good hitter. He's going to make him pay for it.
That's right. I'd rather hit anyway. Let's go.
Gates Brown to be screaming right now. Let's go.
Nick struck out in the first inning. Tigers have the leadoff walk here by Jones.
Nick wants to hit here at Ricky Henderson Field.
Conversation continues. Jerry Davis and Castellanos.
Yeah, we'll see how Jerry likes it here at this call.
Yeah, exactly.
Telling you.
And a step off by Edwin. Jones this year with 9 steals, but he's been caught 5 times. Nick swings right through the letter high fastball. 0-2 now on Castellanos. Jackson was an all-star with the Tigers back in 09, his only all-star season.
He quick pitched Jacoby and Nick in the process on that last pitch.
Good block there by catcher Jonathan Lucroy.
Lucroy getting down, getting over in front of it. Blocked the field in his career. Big play right there.
Tigers already with 5 base runners in this ball game. They've had a lot of traffic against Jackson early in this game. They did bounce into a double play in the second. Swing and a miss, and Castellanos down again via the strikeout. 1 gone.
Just was a fastball on some breaking ball down and away.
Nico.
A lot of break on that, a lot of arm motion.
And terrific location. So here is Nico Goodrum with 1 out. Nico popped to shallow center field. It was run down by Semien in the first inning. Ball 1. Really the only 2 spots right now in the field that are covered by the sunlight. The center fielder Laureano and the right fielder Piscotty. They're having to deal with the sun. Everybody else is okay.
Yeah, it's doable though. You saw the Tigers use a guy, an off fielder, use a better angle to get it, making the catch, and it worked. Jacoby got to make sure he gets back quickly to the bag, because if you decelerate back there, sometimes they'll get a throw on right on the leg, and they'll get you.
The 1-0 is bounced to the mound. Jackson fires to second. 1 relay is 2. A 1-6-3 double play. The second twin killing of the night for the A's. retired the number of 2018 Hall of Fame inductee Jack Morris prior to the Sunday, August 12th, 1:10 p.m. game against the Twins. The on-field ceremony is at 12:15. The first 10,000 fans get a Jack Morris 1984 replica road jerseys. Those were sweet, by the way. For tickets, go to Tigers.com.
And don't miss the dinner on the 9th.
Good call.
That's the startup get-together.
Zim back to work. Has Chapman, Lowry, and Davis here in the third. How many of your former jerseys do you still have?
Game jerseys?
Game jerseys. Couple?
I got quite a few jerseys. I mean, altogether, other jerseys that others signed for me, like Oral or Budge. Yeah. I've got quite a few of those. Yeah, I've got quite a few.
Chapman drills one to center field. Jones on the move, still going back, looks up, and it's gone.
Wow.
A rocket to dead center field by Matt Chapman, his 14th home run.
Kobe actually thought he might be right to him when he hit it. It went over the wall.
1-1 ball game.
Is that an 0-2 pitch? That was a mistake. He crushes it.
Battitore numero 28, seconda base.
Well, you're right. It looked like Jones thought that ball was hit right at him. And then it jumped.
And he just turned around and watched it over the fence.
Here's Jed Lowry. He'll drive one to center field. Jones will turn around on this one and get there.
Ball's jumping. Still a little heat out there in center field, isn't there? You know why.
Time now for DTE Energy's Know Your Own Power. Chris Davis since the All-Star break with 8 home runs along with Matt Carpenter and Rhys Hoskins leading the major leagues.
He's got pop, to convince me.
What do you think the exit velo was on that home run?
The home run of 110.
That ball's hit deep. It's going way back, and that ball is gone. Davis has homered, and just like that, the Athletics have the lead. They had kept Davis in check until that at bat.
2 secondary pitches elevated middle of the plate, and they made us pay.
And the East now have their first lead of this ball game. Here is Matt Olson.
Matt Olson.
The exit velo on the Chapman homer was 111 miles an hour.
I said 110.
So you were just about there. And we'll see on the Davis home run, but
that's a line drive.
Davis has hit his 30th now. That ball ripped foul down the right field line. Olson had a walk in the first. .101 on the exit velocity on the Davis homer. That went 391 feet. Oakland as a team now with 150 home runs, 4th in the American League. Swing and a miss. Olson is out of there.
Kept it, tied him up, kept it inside. Let's go back to Chris Davis's home run. They've done such a good job keeping it down away. That one just hung right over the middle of the plate. That's what happens. You didn't miss it.
Number 30 for Davis gives him 3 consecutive seasons now of 30 or more.
No doubt, was there?
Nope. Neither one of them. Stephen Piscotty in the air to center. It's going to be Jones, and Jacoby will haul it in to retire the side. 2 homers giving the A's the lead. Tigers baseball presented by Belt Tire. The Indians were hoping for, but he has made his presence felt, and so have the A's power hitters. Couple of homers off Zim, and now it's 2-1 A's. As we go to the 4th inning, it'll be Jeimer Candelario to get things started. Jeimer drove in a run with a single in the 1st.
Got to get right back on him. They scored 2 in the bottom of the previous. That was a short one there, wasn't it?
Scooped up by Lucroy right in front of the plate. Jackson was with the Nationals and then opted out of his contract on June 1st, signed a minor league deal with the A's, and got back to the big leagues. That's a fair ball. Little shovel toss there from Olsen, 1 gone. Time now for Menard's big money encounter. Our subject is chase rate.
Now batting.
Well, we worked this up a little bit. We listed the bottom 3 and the top 3. That means who swings at balls that are out of the strike zone. You see the Tigers 35% with the White Sox and Kansas City. Their record is on the right. The lowest chase rate is the Dodgers, Arizona, and Oakland, and of course they're all vying for the playoffs right now. So is it one stat that says whether you're going to be in or not? I don't know. I'm not going to go that way, but it is pretty indicative of us having to get better at, would you say? Yeah,
I would say it's very indicative. It's a very important stat. Now, the average in the major leagues is 31%.
Just to give you an index. And they talk about it. They definitely talk about it. They work on it. But part of it is youth. Part of it probably is ability. And a combination of fixing those things, it'd be patience, and there'll be other guys that are working this in the minor leagues and other systems that trades may be made, but it's something the Tigers have struggled at, especially recently, and they're going to have to Find a way to, you got to slow the game down. You've probably heard that said many, many times. The opponents kind of feast off you because they know that you're going to chase, and they throw a lot of balls out of the zone. And here we're looking at the hit charts. You see why the Victor's being defense the way he is. Nobody over there 6% of the time at third base. No reason to be there.
Here's the 1-2. Fly ball, left center field. Laureano will make the play. I'll go back to something you told me recently, and you've told me this many times. We're talking about chase rate and swinging early in counts. You said there were times in your career where you told yourself, I'm going to go up there and take 2 pitches. And you convinced yourself you were going to do that. When you got to the box, you swung at the first pitch. Yeah,
well, eventually I learned to do it. But just to give you an example, 31 is the average. 35 is where the team is at right now. Over a year, I believe that's almost 500 swings a year. 500 band swings a year. Yes. Wow. Now, to even give you more of an index of, I came up with a guy named Rusty Staub. Yeah. I told the story one time. He asked me how many bad swings and at bats I gave away one day, and I didn't really know how to answer it. I said, how about you? He said 1. We were in September. I mean, come on, you crazy? There are some people that are like that. I was never that good, but you need to try and make improvements, because if you can put the ball in play, you have an opportunity to make something happen, put the pressure on your opponent, and score more runs.
Rusty Staub, by the way, had a great nickname, Le Grand Orange, with his red hair or orange hair. Here's the 2-0. Foul back out of play, 2-1. Rusty can hit, man.
Well, I mean, Rusty's kind of the same thing, right? For color.
Yeah, I'm sure that's probably where it
I
came
remember
from.
The one thing too, he'd like to have fresh sandies before the game, clean ones right out, not washed.
Oh, like legitimately right out of the package.
Right out of the package. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, Jim Schmeichel. I believe I'm right on that. I didn't pick that habit up. I went double sandy though. Keep away from the blisters. The real thin white ones. We used to wear the white ones. The tube sandies are really thin, and then we wear the stirrups over them. Nowadays, everybody's just got one sock.
Popped up. Jackson is calling for it. Who's going to take it? It'll be his first baseman, Olson, and 1, 2, 3 go the Tigers in the 4th.
Last inning, 2 home run balls, 2 sliders by Jordan Zimmerman, one by Matt Chapman, and then another one by Chris Davis. These are just in the middle of the plate. These guys don't miss them. Previous to that, the Tigers have been throwing lights out, down and away, and they have not got them. But those got out of here quick. Tigers trail 2-1.
Well, Zim now has given up 2 home runs in each of his last 4 starts. And now he finds himself down 2-1 as we go to the home part of the 4th inning. It'll dive in for strike 1 to Jonathan Lucroy. Semien to follow, and then Laureano, the 7, 8, 9 hitters for Bob Melvin. One ball, 1 strike. The A's have won a lot of games against the Tigers, 10 straight versus Detroit. That'll miss inside, 2-1.
Now, LaCroix's been going a lot to right center, hasn't he?
Yes.
So you can barely see Nick out here. It seems like maybe deepen up a little bit. He's been hitting out in this area right here. He's got a little adjustments.
Up the middle for Iglesias. A little sidearm throw to get him 1 gone. Let's check in now with Johnny Kane.
All right, boys, out here in the black hole, which is where the Detroit Lions actually opened the preseason a week from yesterday. So it'll be next Friday. They'll be here in Oakland against the Raiders. But you see the return to greatness here, and that's a little of what they're looking for with Jordan Zimmerman on the hill today. I had a chance to talk with Rick Anderson, and you hit on a little bit, Mario. Basically, you know, Jordan was really good in his 3 starts leading up to the All-Star break, but his 3 starts coming out of it, he just hadn't had that same type of command. And what Rick Anderson said was, you got to remember that when we went into the All-Star break, he had an extended stay. He had an extended time off, 13 days to be exact, because he had that nerve block injection to deal with some of the back pain he'd been having or some back issues. They lay out here.
That'll drop in for a base hit. It gets by Jones. Now it's going to roll all the way to the warning track. Motoring is Semien to third base, and he's in there standing up, and that's the last thing the Tigers wanted there.
Yeah, look, like I can just tell you from my vantage point here, again, I know Nick has his sunglasses on, but it is a piercing sky to try to get yourself camped under those balls. But just to put a bow on what I was saying about Zim, they didn't know what his reaction would be after that nerve block injection. So they basically put him at the tail end of the rotation. So he had 13 days off in between and really broke his routine. Once he got out of the routine, didn't have the same type of command. So what they're hoping for moving forward, he's able to get back into that rhythm. And we see the Jordan Zimmerman we did prior to the All-Star break, Mario. Yeah, because the JZ we saw then was about as good as we had seen since he joined the team, really. It's rolled to third base and handled there by Candelario. They will keep the runner at third. 2 gone now. Well, the hope is that Zim is able to give the Tigers some quality innings down the stretch.
Well, yeah, hopefully he can keep going the way he has really all year. I mean, this is an injury that's going to take him some time to learn how to deal with. And I think that the fact that he appears fairly healthy is a good sign, but he also has lost a little bit off his fastball. I don't know if that's ever going to come back this year. Maybe next year or in the future.
By the way, the hit by Semien was ruled a single E8, allowing Semien to get the third. Martini, the batter.
Well, Jacoby, first in the league in the outfielders with defensive runs saved. Hopefully this doesn't score and he gives one up. But I don't know if he couldn't see it, but he did. When you know a ball's going to bounce, it could take a bad hop. I did that in Yankee Stadium one time. It could have hit something and just totally scooted on him. Couldn't make the adjustment too quickly. It turned into a triple.
Yankee fans probably weren't on you too hard about that one, were they?
I was running straight after that ball. I ran as fast as I could, too.
Got him, strike 3. That'll end the threat.
Way to come back, Zim.
So nothing comes to the air. We've played 4. as Jacoby ran off the field, he had a little confab with Nick Castellanos talking about that air in center field. Fortunately, it did not hurt the Tigers.
Here comes Dave Clark, the outfield instructor as well. It's his responsibility. So they got away with it. They probably could redo it a little differently. Feel bad about it, but another learning experience.
Here is Ducey. He will get things started here in the 5th inning. Bottom 3 for the Tigers versus Edwin Jackson. Ducey, Iglesias, and Gerber.
I mean, if you're a coach, what do? Do you let it go? Do you say something? Do you find out what's going on?
Well, at the very least, find out what's going on. I mean, you know, Jacoby has been so good in center field this year.
He's been great.
You know, how do you term that? Is that a just a lackadaisical error? Is that a ball taking a bad hop? What do you term it?
Yeah, it took a bad hop for sure. I don't know how he could see it. You know, we go through the same decisions here in the booth. Is it worth? Should we point it out? Is it worth pointing out? I mean, many people learn the same lesson, so I'm not trying to be negative about it, but you want to correct them. My feeling is you need to talk about them, and talking to our viewers, you got to be honest with them. But
you do have to be honest, but you've also been there. You've been on the field, and you know exactly what that play is all about, because I'm sure you've seen it many times and you've been through it many times. So that's why your expertise, I think, can shed some light as to how something like that can happen.
Here's the difference. When I was playing, you know who was talking over me on that?
Chet Lemon.
That was Al Kaline.
Oh, well, yeah, Al Kaline.
So, I mean, again, I'm not trying to be critical or negative. It's just that we want to be a championship team, right? We all want to. And these are things that have to be eliminated. You're not going to eliminate them all, but you know, the expectation has to be that you can, I think. I'll probably get some looks in a teaching kind of series so far.
Fly ball, center field, and it's going to be Laureano under it. Iglesias gone.
Pull the firm ball, though, I can tell you that. Not trying to be mean.
Well, when Rod Gardner took the job here, I think he was well aware that there was going to be a lot of teaching going on this year, maybe next, and we'll see what the future holds. But still a very young team and more young talent on the farm that when they get here will have teaching moments as well. Here's Mike Gerber. Slice to center field and a diving play, but he can't hold on. Laureano tried to grab that ball. His throw to second is in time. He came off the bag. Gerber will get a single. He's thrown out by Laureano, who has his second assist in 2 days.
He led the minor leagues in assists, and he continued to do it here as well.
out of the batter's box, but he overslid the bag.
Yeah, he was in there. He was hauling and just unable to stay on it. Came off, and all of the infielders now keep the glove on there smartly with the replay. Look at Edwin. He likes it.
Here's Chapman to get things started out for the A's. High fly ball right field. It's going to be Castellanos cruising over. One pitch and one out. Tigers fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app, take Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers baseball with you wherever you go. It's made available by Oakland University. We got their little nacho action.
Any cheese?
Are you a jalapeno guy or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta have jalapenos.
Venison with jalapeno and cream cheese.
Ooh, never tried that.
Yeah, you put it on the grill for about 21 minutes. Let the jalapeno and the juice soak into the meat.
Are you a grillsmith?
I wouldn't call me a grillsmith, but I got some fine dishes.
You got some skills.
I got some skills. Yeah, I can hear people that, oh, I would never eat that. But you could do it with a tenderloin, you know. That's tasty. So, do I like jalapenos? Yes.
Jalapenos on your pizza, yes or no?
Occasionally.
Yeah. I love them. 2-1 the count on Jed Lowry. One gone here in the fifth.
How about in your yogurt in the morning?
No. What, are you kidding me with that?
No.
See, now the minute you delivered that line, you started laughing hysterically.
Well, I just knew you would.
Seeing if I would bite on that.
No, you wouldn't tell me the truth even if you did.
Well, no. Now, why would I put jalapenos in my yogurt?
Well, I took it by the question you asked me that you did like them.
Lowry is 0 for 2. Three and 2 now on Lowry.
I'm going to invite you up north one time, and I'll get some of my skills out. You promise me to eat it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'll try it.
So we'll start out with the yogurt, a couple of jalapenos. Had a nice pitch.
2 gone. You are not going to do jalapenos on yogurt.
Why not?
That would nip the inside corner. And now Zim back on track. That is 5 strikeouts for Jordan.
Davis.
No, Zim made 2 mistakes, and they made him pay for it. Other than that, he's been money.
Walk and a home run for Davis. Last time the A's had a player hit 30 or more home runs 3 consecutive years, the early 2000s when Miguel Tejada did it. Those were some home run hitting teams then for the A's.
Yeah, he didn't hold back, did he?
No.
That's another Miggy.
There you go, 2000 to 2002 for Tejada. For good A's teams. Got under that one and drives it in the air to left center. Jacoby Jones under it, and Zim with a 1-2-3 fifth inning. As we go to the 6th, Jones leads it off. Brought to you by Bell Tire. For tires and auto service, everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. And by Chevrolet, it's Chevy Truck Month. Bring on the new and hand down the old. Chevrolet, find new roads.
Probably a shipment of jalapenos right there. So I got an addition that maybe it'll soften it up. So I'll put jalapenos, yogurt, bananas, and blueberries.
Now, why would that soften it up?
Well, put a little fruit in there, maybe goes against the jalapeno.
Still no. Jones leads it off, bunts, and a good one. He's going to beat this out. Oh, he's done. Oh, what a play there by Chapman.
Yeah, he can do it. I didn't realize his bat's as good as it was. That's a good thought right there. Good try, but Chapman will put the pressure on him, and look at he makes the play. He's got a very strong arm.
Number 9, Nicholas.
We've talked about the defensive metrics of Chapman and how good he's been at third. This is a fine play.
He's got himself set up to throw by the angle he approaches the ball, and it works out.
Usually you see a guy in a bang-bang play like that barehand the ball, but he used his glove, still had time for the exchange, and he got him out. Slow bouncer up the middle, Semyon. And Nick is out 2 quick outs. He'll bring up Goodrum.
So you're still not buying into it, huh?
No, I just can't do jalapeno and yogurt.
No, Aurelio Lopez, remember who he was?
Senor Smoke.
It would he would drink the juice for his pregame coffee.
Really?
Yeah, right out of the jar. The jalapeno juice. Have you ever tried that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've had it. I wouldn't like drink a cup of it.
How about habanero?
No thanks.
Yeah, that's going a little too smoky. That's smoking hot. Maybe we'll bring some juice down to the team. We'll do it a little bit, and they can do a little bit, and
That's a good idea.
Warm the bats up.
I vote you as our representative from the booth to do that.
I'll do it. Somebody's got to. I'll do it.
The 1-1 is a little bit outside. Here's a question: you like jalapeno in your brownies?
I'll try it.
Because, you know, you've been eating nothing but sweets. I'm really worried about you on this trip. Nothing but sweets. And look what we found in Gibby's bag right here. Nothing but brownies.
That's a lie.
There's 3 of them. They were in your bag.
Give me a book. We'll put your hand on it.
Goodrum rolls one to the right side. Nice backhanded play. Look at that throw as Jackson covers. Great play by Olsen. Tremendous defense for the A's here in the 6th, but this is a dandy of a play.
It's a tough throw going right, back to the left. They get it done.
6th, and fans, make sure to join us again tomorrow. Tigers wrap up this series with the Athletics. All your game coverage begins at 3 right here on Fox Sports Detroit. Now Zim back to the hill as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Jordan threw 29 pitches in the first inning, but 48 since.
Been great. Really throwing the ball well.
Popped up off the bat of Matt Olson. Shallow center. And Jones will make the play. One gone.
The high sky, you can tell everybody's very timid, or I should say really concentrating on the ball coming down. It's just so clear. Nothing, there's no background, no depth, no clouds. Very tough. Little extra concentration in the Coliseum. And this is a good warm-up for tomorrow, because it will be sunny tomorrow. For the day game, is it a 1 o'clock game?
It is. To right field, long run. Nick will not get there. It'll bounce back into the seats. Piscotty's 0 for 2, flying to right, flying to center. The difference in this one is you look at the pitch count on Zim. The 2 home runs hit by the A's in the 3rd. Solo shots, Chapman and Davis.
Other than that, it's been great.
Tigers got their only run courtesy of an error in the 1st and a 2-out single by Jamer Candelario.
An error in the 1st, good hustle, and a base hit.
Again toward right field, slicing to the corner, foul. Oh, and 2 on Stephen Piscotty.
Let's take a look at our Xfinity high-speed pitch. 93 the high, low of 80.
Time given to Piscotty now as Zim takes too long. He's retired 6 in a row. Jordan threw 29 in that 1st inning thanks to a couple of walks. Banged it off his foot.
Great pitch right there. Now he's starting to control the fastball with some late movement on it, right in on the hands. Good quality pitch. So this is a good purpose pitch too. Makes you think about cheating as a hitter. Sets him up being susceptible to another pitch.
On the ground with the shortstop, Iglesias running scoop. His throw is accurate. It's in time. 2 gone. Well, don't miss the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to celebrate the Hall of Fame induction and number retirements of Tiger greats Jack Morris and Alan Trammell. A special celebration dinner on Thursday, August 9th. It's at the Motor City Casino Hotel. Select ticket packages include a private meet and greet and more. Tickets on sale now. Tigers.com/HOF dinner. Once in a lifetime to be sure with 2 Tiger greats. There is ball 1 to Jonathan Lucroy.
Give them their due. Come on down. Have some fun.
Missing low and away, 2-0 the count. There they go.
Yeah, they never really stop, do they?
No, they don't. It really is impressive.
Just off the plate. 91 pitches for Zim. He's been up to 105. So he's getting towards the end here a little bit.
In there, a strike called. Nice.
You good on the drums?
I used to be when I was a kid. I used to be pretty good. Then I lost it.
I used to have one of those trainers.
To center field, where it's going to be Jones in a 1-2-3 inning.
Broke a lot of sticks.
We go to the 7th. 2-1 A's. The Tigers retire his number prior to the Sunday, August 26th game against the White Sox at 110. First 10,000 fans receive a Alan Trammell 1984 replica road jersey. If you'd like tickets, go to Tigers.com. Get a Tram jersey and celebrate the induction and the number being retired for Mr. Trammell.
Yeah. Did you see the video quality on there compared to what we watched today?
A little grainy.
I think that's 8-track we're running.
Huh. There's ball 1 to Candelario.
You know, they have, the players can all go in and watch every pitch of every game, right? They can watch whatever they want. It's all in high def. And back then, the players used to have, something happen there? No. The players used to have to take an 8-track tape, VHS, I should say, and then you have to scroll into it, you know.
Oh, wow.
So right now you just pull it up, home run, the date, the hitter, the pitch, the count, whatever you want. But come a long way. This game continues to do so.
Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Candelario. Rod Carew once told me, Gibby, he would take films of his at bats, and actually when we got to the hotel room would show them, would play them on the wall of his hotel room. That's how primitive it was back then. Not anymore.
Like they used to do with the football reels, you mean?
Right, exactly.
That was the screen, the walls.
The wall was the screen. So Jackson right now is at 74 pitches as he throws here in the 7th inning. Trevino warming up in their bullpen.
Yeah, they're probably looking at Trevino to go multiples, right?
I would think. Flare toward the gap in right center field. Will hang up long enough? It will. Sliding play by Laureano, whose big league debut in this series has been pretty good.
He's got a lot of energy. He's all over. He's well placed. Got a couple good throws. Good communication out there.
41, Victor Martinez.
Goes down and makes the catch. Watches it right into the glove.
The A's have made some really good plays behind Jackson in this game.
They made a couple good ones last night as well. Tigers have been playing good defense.
Victor Martinez is 0 for 2 with a couple of fly balls. A's lead 2-1. We're in the 7th.
Wonder if the Tigers would pinch run for Victor if he gets on.
Strike call.
And you're in the top of the 7th inning. He would come back up possibly, though. That'd be one of the risks. I think you try, if a double, I would say for sure. I think you'd have to do it.
Yeah, 1-run game, I would agree. And you're going to get an answer to question soon. It's going to be a single the other way for Victor.
I tell you, he's really done a good job of that here, really in the second half of this season. Yep, we got a runner.
Reyes. And it looks like that's going to be it for Jackson. Gives up the 1-out single here in the 7th, and Bob Melvin takes the ball. Jackson thanks his defense, and we'll be back. By Comerica Bank, raise your expectations of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica, your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy triumphs the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. What a gorgeous night here in the Bay Area. Back here in Oakland, Edwin Jackson is done for the night. The Tigers have the tying run on here with 1 out in the 7th. And they have Big John Hicks up there. Swing and a miss high cheese from Lou Trevino has come on now for the A's.
Wallside Windows pitching change. 92% of his pitches that he throws, including a cutter, has been dominant. It's just fastball cutter. He just throws the ball very hard. 43 games, mostly 1 inning. I'm looking here, mostly 1 inning stints. So not sure what Bob Melvin's got in store here, but he's been dominant as well with the other bullpen members. We saw training last night. Familia. Will we see him again when he go 1-1-1?
Well, we got Familia with 1 inning last night. Trinan went 2.
He's probably out.
Yeah, I would think he's definitely out.
So maybe 2 innings, 3 innings with 2 relievers.
Runner goes, and the throw down to second. The tag in time. They got him. Reyes trying to swipe the bag is thrown out by Lucroy, who has done plenty of that this year.
I think they had a suspicion he was going to go. Got rid of it quickly. Good throw. It's right on the money. Can't fault Detroit for trying. That's hard to come off the bench like that and be that quick, you know.
Well, it changes the complexion of the inning quite a bit. 2-1 now on Hicks. And he skies one to shallow right center field. It's going to be Laureano. And just like that, the inning is over. Coming up, the Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch.
At the Treehouse Plaza, and I'm joined by Robert, also known as Kazoo Dude. So, Kazoo Dude, I'd like you to play a quick tune for us, and then I'll ask you how this whole thing got started, if you could.
All right.
Let's hear one of your trademark tunes.
All right. Well, here's what I play when the batters come up after their music plays. Just a little fanfare that I like to give, hoping the batters can hear me. I'm not sure if they can hear me out that far or not, but I just like to have a little bit of fun with it.
Johnny,
we can
try
hear you
it.
over here. I know that you said you had an exchange with one of the Tigers players during BP. What did he tell you?
Yeah, well, I couldn't quote him word for word, but something about the most ear-piercing, annoying sound of any noisemaker in any stadium anywhere. But he was kind enough to let me drop down a kazoo for him. So they're probably goofing around with it and making fun of me over in the bullpen right now.
No, that's great, man. That's great. All right, so you got the kazoo. What were you saying, Gibby?
Well, let's get a lesson here.
Let's go, Johnny. Try it.
He did.
Let him hold the mic, and you try.
I'm gonna have you hold this. I'm gonna get a quick tune in.
All right.
Again.
Kazoo Dude.
I don't know how good I'd be on this one.
I don't know. Oh, man, look out. Into center field, a base hit.
It hit the side of the mound and bounced right out of the way. It's the wrong end, isn't it?
What you have to do with a kazoo is you have to use your voice, and that vibrates the diaphragm, which is a piece of paper that's in the kazoo.
Gotcha.
So you have to use the tone of your voice, so you make like an ooh sound. To my mouth while I'm making the same sound, and you can hear the difference. Ooh.
The more you know, Gibby.
This thing is totally off the rails now. Runner goes. Here's the throw down to second, not in time. It'll be a steal for Semien now, and he is in scoring position. All right, Johnny, thanks. Kazoo Dude. Well, Johnny tried at least. He's going to continue with his lessons.
Just get that on tape.
Well, let's see. The Tigers now down by a run here in the 7th, and the A's have a man at second, nobody out. And how many times have we seen these situations in this series already for the A's? Runner at second, nobody out.
Tigers have done a pretty good job of getting out of it.
Right.
It's going to be important here. They don't want to go down another run. They are down 2-1 right now. Doable.
Laureano the batter. Strike called.
Laureano's had a good series so far. Only his second game since being called up. He's done it all. Defensively, offensively, running the bases good.
Oh, 0-2. That was strike 3, actually. So a big out there for Zim.
Just like we promised, it's time for the Miller Lite hold true moment. Jordan Zimmerman has been throwing a beauty. Had one hiccup in his last game. Tiger outfielders battled the sun early. Look at the good slider right there. Another good one. Gets a strikeout on that. Both sides of the plate, up and in, moving it all over, down and away. Didn't give up 2 home runs. Other than that, flawless.
Here's Martini. He is 0 for 3 against Jordan. Way high, 1-0. Do you think as we get to the postseason, and that's assuming the A's make it, they're really, I don't want to call it an inability, but they're, the way they play the game where they don't advance runners sometimes in tight games could be a difference and a detriment to them in postseason?
They've been doing it for a long time. They've been very successful doing it. I think more people are doing that. Again, try and post one of those run matrix online or on the Fox Sports Detroit website, and you can take a look at it for yourself. I have an old one I can dig out probably. It's just pure percentages that says over time you're going to score more runs doing one thing over the other. It's hard to believe because you've been brought up the other way.
You've been conditioned, yeah, no doubt.
High school ball, college ball, they bunt them over all the time.
And like we said last night, not even necessarily a bunt, but just hit the ball the other way.
Now here's the one. Here's really the caveat. Another caveat to that whole. We're talking about scoring 1 run, but there also is the probability of scoring multiple runs. So I do know this. It's not even close. If you give up an out by bunting a guy over, you're substantially reducing the chances of scoring multiple runs. That makes sense, doesn't it?
It does make sense, but in a 1-run game late in the contest, that 1 run could be huge.
Well, you know, they have people in their organization. They figure numbers. They look at the data. They know what they're talking about, and they can prove to you much better than I can why they do what they do or why they recommend doing what they do.
3-2 the count on Martini. He'll spoil that one back at the screen.
Good job of staying alive there by Martini.
Chapman waiting on deck. Tigers down by a run here in the 7th. And again, these two teams hooked up in a 1-run game. They've both played a ton of them this year. In fact, the A's are the best in 1-run games record-wise. Grounded right side foul outside of the bag.
Sim at 102 pitches. You're a manager here. You don't want to take him out. He's pitched a great game. You don't want to take his opportunity to spit the hook and get the win away from him. It looks like Zim's not even thinking about coming out right now. Sometimes you can see body language and you got to do it, but this is not one of those nights.
Off the plate, and Martini has a base on balls here in the 7th. 2 on now with 1 out. It's going to be it. The Tigers have had Drew Verhagen warming up, and they could certainly use a ground ball here. Zim will be done after 103 pitches. So Verhagen coming on. We'll be back. One out, and here is the upcoming matchup presented by Wallside Windows. Tomorrow in the series finale, it'll be Trevor Cahill and Francisco Liriano.
Well, Francisco's had a little problem, little hiccup. He hasn't pitched for a while. He's 3-5. We thought he might be moving on his way as well, but he's still here. And Trevor Cahill's started as an A, I believe, and now he's back as an A. He was in Arizona. I had him for a while. Love his walk-up song. Got a Wallside Windows pitching change. Drew Verhagen, 22nd game, 30 strikeouts, 10 walks. Opponents hit 236, looking for the double play.
Chapman the batter, and right now Drew in search of the ground ball to get out of this inning. Tigers were fortunate not to use Verhagen last night. Gardy said he really wanted to hold him back because Drew could give him multiple innings in case something bad would have gone with tonight's starter, but not the case. Zim was really good tonight. It'll dart low now. 2-0 on Matt Chapman. Triple and a solo homer. 2 out of 3 tonight.
Yeah, ball's jumping off Chapman's bat tonight.
In there, a strike call, 2-1.
Yeah, the triple he hit, that really had jets on it, but the home run was Jacoby Jones thought he was going to catch it. Carried out over his head, straightaway center field. You don't see many of those in this part.
Strike call, 2-2 now on Chapman.
Good slider. Verhagen's got a good breaking ball, goes down.
Chapman has been on base now in 20 consecutive games. That is a high for him. Swing and a miss, and Chapman is out of there.
Well, got one of them. Now he's got to get the other. Jed Lowry. Good fastball. He's got good angle. You see Verhagen gets that arm up. He's a big kid. Good angle, right down into the ground.
So he fell behind 2-0, but Drew comes back to get Chapman. Now here is Lowry, who is 0 for 3. And he has punched out twice tonight. Ball 1 to Lowry.
Well, Lowry, we've talked a little bit about how he's hurt the Tigers. Don't have a base open. He's a pretty good off-speed hitter, so you're going to have to really place that fastball good. Probably away. Try to get him to pull it on the ground.
Did not go. Tigers coming into this game had got an ERA of 3.10 from their starters in the second half. Their starting rotation has been really good since the All-Star break, and Zim tonight gave up the 2 runs. That was it.
Yeah, but if you give up 2 runs in 7 innings, that's doable. Should be able to win those games.
Now 2-0 on Lowry. 2-1.
Call that pulling the string. 2-0. Lobbed an off-speed pitch in there. Well out front.
Semien started with a single, stole second, 1 out later, a walk to Martini. And now with 2 outs, Lowry. High ball 3-1. With Davis lurking on deck. And he's already homered tonight. Slicing away down the left field line, long run, Gerber. Oh, what an attempt and what an effort by Mike Gerber.
That hit him in the face. It bounced. Boy, he ran a long way here. No, hit his glove. A little farther away than the cameras are, but Mike's okay.
Gerber was already shaded toward the line a little bit with his speed. He nearly pulled that off. 3-2 now on Lowry.
I'd like to see him get this guy.
Verhagen this year has had stretches in the major leagues where he has really kind of found a niche out of the Tigers bullpen. And he held on to it for strike 3. Lowry is out of there. He fans for the 3rd time tonight. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire.
A tight game in the first inning. Jeimer Candelaria gets a single, scores Jacoby, who got on an error. Then in the 3rd, the Athletics struck with the home run from Chapman. And then Chris Davis, a couple hanging breaking balls, and they made him pay. Other than that, it's been really good baseball since then, making good defensive plays, good pitching, and the Tigers here in the top of the 8th looking to score some runs and steal this game from the A's.
Givadusi leads it off against Trevino here in the 8th inning. It'll be the bottom 3: Adusi, Iglesias, and Gerber due up. Trevino came on, caught a runner trying to steal in the 7th, and also got a fly ball. And that is looped in the air to shallow right. It's going to drop. Base hit. A single for Adusi. The Tigers get the tying run on here in the 8th.
Now batting, number 1, Jose.
It'll bring up Iglesias now.
So, speaking of bunting, you would never bunt like here, right? Just to try and get even. If he's on second, would you bunt him over for the tie?
I don't know. You're the manager,
No,
would you?
no, generally on the road, never. Never, unless you really had a really good bullpen and they were out of guys or something, but I'd say never.
Iglesias, a double and a fly ball. Tigers have their 6th hit of this game.
Trevino keeping a good eye right there in the deuce. This guy, we talk about how dominant their bullpen has been. Trevino, 72% strike rate. That's 10th. Whiff rate of 40%. That's 3rd. Batting average against 080. 6 for 75. So the Tigers need to bring him down to reality, huh?
Well, he's given up just 1 earned run in his last 21 1/3 innings. We saw the other pieces of their bullpen last night. Familia, Trinan.
Looks like they're trying to get 2 innings out of him.
Runner goes, and is fouled back out of play.
I like that play right there. Hit and run. Gardy's not going to stand around. Little protection on Gerber. He goes, and Iggy's trying to get that ball right through that hole right there. See a good peek right there. 3 steps and a peek if you're the runner. Mike Socia, we'll see him. He'll hit run 2 times in a row. He'll do it this next week when we face him. You know, Gardy did that. I just talked about the strike rate of 72%. So he's a guy that's going to be around the plate. You got a guy who can put the bat on the ball. Ducey runs good. Not a flyer, but runs good. So good try.
Swing and a miss. We dialed up to 97 there, 1-2.
He's got Sevilla. There's Clarkie. So if you're the opposing manager, Bob Melvin, you're watching the signs from Gardy or the dugout, you're watching Clarkie, then you give your signs to your catcher. You want him to pitch out, hold the ball, kick over. One and 2. You get to 3-2. I think you got to send him.
Leadoff single by Ducey here in the 8th in a 1-run game. Swing and a miss. Boy, that thing was nasty. At 97, it darted low and in.
Yeah, it did. A lot of movement. That's nasty. Maybe that ball just ran at him. Watch him turn that over. It was a ball, but it started off a strike.
Now batting, number 13, Mike Gerber.
It'll bring up Mike Gerber down.
So if you can imagine you're the coach, third base coach, where everybody can see, gives signs every time. You see a sign from your manager. I mean, he gives you fake signs 99% of the time, 98, right? All of a sudden you get one. I think you'd feel a little bit like, oh. Ooh. Or would you have a good poker face?
No, this one's real. I'd give it away, man. I'd just start jumping.
Roger Craig was a great manager, and he was our pitching coach. He'd all taught us how to watch it. You can see mannerisms by many when they got a sign that something's on. Now, it might not be your third base coach, but it might be the runner. You watch the runner because he's getting the sign. You watch the first base coach. What does he? Does he do something different?
So what would be an example of something Roger would pick up?
Just a body movement. You watch him every time. Or maybe you see the first base coach, like I say, pinch him in the arm, say a word.
And now 2-0 on Gerber.
I mean, think about when you did something maybe mischievously. You get somebody ask you if something happened. You know, you just, well, you probably told a white lie in your life, right?
A few.
So when they look you in the face and they ask you and you still fib, you know how you kind of feel it?
You kind of like twitch and your face gets red.
You look away.
Yeah, you look away.
So I mean, I'm just trying to give you what it feels like out there.
The 2-0 is fouled back out of play.
Okay, so here's another one. You put it on. Okay, Clarkie puts it on, and then the guy at first base kind of gives the sign where he puts his fingers around like, I didn't see the sign.
Yeah.
Put it on again. So do you take it off or do you leave it on? So it goes both ways. So when you leave it on, then you feel it inside. That's the point. But you're not supposed to show it on the outside.
And he's gone to 3-1 now on Gerber. Another 97-mile-an-hour fastball from Trevino. Jacoby Jones on deck.
Yeah, diving away. Send him 3-2.
3-2 on Wood, yes.
Yeah, I would too.
Going right now on 3-1. It's popped up foul. Chapman is gonna have room. That thing came back to him. Gerber is out 2 away.
I like it. I like it. You gotta try and do something with these big boys. The numbers speak for themselves if you just sit back and wait. And this ball's in the stands at any other park, but not here. Comes back. Trevino was a 1.16 seconds to the plate, so that's not ideal to steal off of.
Here is Jacoby Jones. Swing and a miss. Here's a 97-mile-an-hour fastball with movement. Big Joe warming up now in the Tigers bullpen.
Now Joe's up again tonight. Last night, I know some have questioned why he didn't pitch. He's got a lot of appearances, and they got him up and got him hot. They didn't feel that they wanted to do that again. It's a young golden arm right there. He's had a very good year for the Tigers. And that's hard when you get up and don't bring him in the game.
Chop to the shortstop. Semyon flips to second for the force, and the inning is over. We go to the bottom of the 8th here in Oakland.
State. What do we got? Ooh, see some negatives there.
Yeah, well, I'm putting together my typical second half dive.
Might have more success starting a kazoo team over here than me getting out of the basement of this game.
Maybe they'll bring you some good luck.
A kazoo team. There's the drive to center field. Jones coming on, and Davis is retired. One gone here in the 8th.
Tried to jump him there. Tomorrow we got an interesting fact about Chris Davis. Bring that to you tomorrow.
Here's Matt Olson. They have Trinan warming up in their bullpen. Now, he threw 2 innings yesterday.
He'll be off tomorrow. He comes out. Yeah, that's one of those deals you ask him how they felt, or maybe he came to him and said, I'm ready to go, Skipper.
That is a ball low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Olson flying to center his last time up. Verhagen, a nice job, came on in the 7th with 2 on and 1 out. Got a couple of punch outs. Now trying to get it through here in the 8th. Swing and a miss.
Inning in the 3rd so far. A couple strikeouts.
Trinan, if you're wondering, through 30 pitches at last night's game. So he'll be coming on, trying to save it again for the A's.
How many pitches you say?
30.
Through 21 and 30 for strikes. So hopefully he'll be wild. We can load him up for us. We'll get to him.
There's the trio he will face. Swing and a miss. He was out in front, and they will throw down to complete it. A strikeout of Olson. There are 2 away. Enhance your next game day experience with the MLB Ballpark app. Access and manage your tickets. Enjoy check-in offers, exclusive content, and a whole lot more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. 2 up, 2 down, and a really good effort from Verhagen tonight. He's retired all 5.
See him get out of this and then continue to be consistent. That'll be good news for the Tigers pitching corps.
Piscotty looks at a strike.
I mean, he's had quite a year. He was on the roster, got taken off the roster. Now he's back on. He's continued to pitch, and he's throwing the ball better and better.
I mean, you always looked at Drew and you thought, you know, there are traces in there of a really dominant guy. There's another nasty pitch. 0-2. He was starting down in the minor leagues. Did really well in that respect.
So right now he's set up more as a long guy, multiple innings guy.
And a swing and a miss to strike him out. That'll end the inning. So Verhagen with a 1-2-3-8. Then we go to the 9th, down by a run. All right, Mick, thanks. As we go to the 9th inning, last call for the Tigers now. Blake Trinan is indeed coming on for the Athletics in a 1-run game. He's got 2, 3, and 4 to face. And Nicholas Castellanos looks at a strike to get things going.
Got a wall side windows pitching change. Blake Trinan in there again after 2 innings. Another 98-mile-an-hour fastball. 27 saves. Strikeout to walk ratios pretty favorable to him. And Nicholas is down 0-2. Just looking at his game log, he threw 2 innings, 30 pitches, August 3rd. That was yesterday. Hadn't pitched since July 31st, where he threw 10 pitches, and then July 26th, where he threw 15. So I can see why he'd be back today. Should be okay.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Castellanos dusted on 98 right at the letters. 1 gone.
Slider, then the heater.
Number 28.
You're a hitter, you got to kind of be looking for another slider. And that fastball came out of the same plane as the previous slider, so the sliders dipped. That one did not.
Nico with 1 out. Goodrum is 0 for 3. There's a ball inside, and we're talking about, do you pinch run for Victor in his last at bat? Well, they did, and so Vimar would have been 4th in this inning if the Tigers got a man on, but that'll be Reyes' spot or somebody on the bench. But Martinez out of this game. In the air to shallow left field and playable. It's going to be Martini and 2 gone.
99. Firm. I don't know how they get this movement. Usually they don't have that good of control. Throw it so hard with so much movement, but
Now batting, number 46.
And Trinan tonight so far they've done that.
Here's Jamer Candelario now with 2 outs, nobody on here in the 9th inning. Looks like James McCann has moved to the on-deck circle. Should Candy reach? Ball 1.
When you got to guess fastball here, or you're going to guess slider, just because the slider would be slower, hope that he would hang it. So I'm pretty much looking fastball here.
Candy looks at a ball inside, and it just missed. Trinan thought he had a strike.
It's a slider. A little short, so it actually looked more like a cutter.
2-0 on Candelario. Jamer an RBI single way back in the first, got the Tigers their only run. There's a strike, 2-1 in 98. Trinan 30 pitches last night. 2 innings of work trying to record the save here in the 9th inning. Back up the middle into center field. Base hit. Jamer keeps it alive. And the Tigers have the tying run on.
Come on, James.
That'll bring up McCann. He'll bat for Reyes.
Got a ball down. Fastball. Anticipated the run up the middle.
It's a 2-hit night for Candelario. He is the tying run. So what's it like for McCann now to step off the bench, hadn't played all night, to face a guy like Trinan who throws upper 90s?
Yeah, you want to cheat a little bit and tune it up. He hit off him last night, so he's got an idea. You get to the back of the box. Hit a home run.
Sawed him off and rolled foul and broke his bat.
mean, this ball starts in the middle third of the plate. And it runs so far. This is a really tough pitch. He's really tough on righties. Look at this. Just keeps running. James brought his hands in as far as he could, but not far enough. Still looking dead red. Try and get that barrel on the ball. Let his power on the pitch do the work for you.
Swing and a miss. Here comes the crowd. Right-handers this year batting just 119 against Trinan.
See if Jamer may take off. I don't know. Doesn't have a very good lead to do so.
Here's the 0-2. Got him. Strike 3 to end the ball game. McCann is caught looking. Trinan gets the save, and the A's have won the first 2 games of the series. Now we'll send you to the Call Sam Studios. Mickey York and Rod Allen with Tigers Live postgame.